Hi everyone, good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to all the listeners of this video. Myself, V. Dinesh Babu from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Chabrol Engineering College. So in today's lecture, let us discuss about some of the introduction topics regarding this HTML, that is Hypertext Markup Language. In the previous session, we saw the history of HTML and then some basic elements and then some basic tags in the HTML language. So now in today's session, let us work with some simple examples and some simple tags in HTML. And before going to the programs, before going to the hands-on, in the last session, we have stopped at the structure of a HTML program. We all know that the structure of a HTML program contain a HTML tag, and then we have head and then the body. So this is the last slide where I have closed the previous session. So this is the basic HTML structure. What you are seeing on the screen is the basic HTML structure. And in this basic HTML structure, we have HTML tag followed by head tag, and there is some title tag, and then we have some body tag. So let us have a look at each and every line of this basic structure. First one, every HTML code start with HTML tag. So if you want to write some HTML code, you have to start with HTML tag. That is a basic need. And then the head tag, the head which is under the HTML, this particular head tag is used to specify some information about the web page. So for each and every web page, there will be some information. So in order to specify such type of information regarding the web page, we need this head tag and then title tag. So each and every HTML page will have some title. So the title on that particular page is the thing which was defined in this title tag. For example, if we define title CSC, that CSC will be appeared at the title bar of your output window of a particular HTML program. And then let us see, it is a header path. From the opening tag of the head to the closing part of the head tag, it is a header part. And then body specifies, this body tag specifies the actual information that is to be displayed on the screen. So this particular body tag is used to specify the actual information. So what we want to display on the screen, if we want to display some text on the screen, the procedure will be represented in this body tag. If we want to display an image on the screen, the procedure to display an image on the screen will be specified in this body tag. So it is an actual information which we want to display it on the screen. And then it is called as body part. So the things in between body opening tag, that is the start tag, and the closing tag is called as body part. And the things in between the start tag, as the head start tag and head closing tag, is called as head part. Head part is used to give some information regarding the web page. Body part is used to display something on the web page. And then it is called as entire HTML structure. Next one, let us have an example. Let us see that example in some other thing. So These are the character formatting tags, which we have already seen in the previous session. So let us have a quick look at all these things. Boldface tag. So if we want to display something, or if we want to add some boldness to a character or some string, we can use this B tag. And then italic. So in order to implement italic effect, we can use I tag. Underline. So if we want to underline some content on the web page, we can use this U tag. Big tag. It is used to display some text with some bigger size. And then small tag. It is used to display some text on the web page in smaller size when compared with the remaining text on the web page. And strong tag. It is used to emphasize the text. Emphasize the text in the means it is used to highlight some part of text. Generally, the highlight of the text will be done by using applying some boldness to the particular text. And then character formatting tags also we have already seen. If we want to display some superscript or subscript, you want to display some superscript, we have already discussed in the previous class. That is, if you want to display x square plus y square plus z square, the two should be represented at somewhat top position over the x or over the y or over the z. So in order to represent those particular things at some higher positions, we can use this superscript. The superscript tag is defined by sup. And if we want to display something at the subscript, for example, x is x2 plus y2 plus z2, or x2 plus y2 equal to z2, the two should be represented somewhat below the x or below the y or below the z. In order to represent that particular two at some desired position, we can use this subscript. That is the sub tag. I will show all these things in the example. Next one, emp. So which is used to, this tag is used to display the content in italic. I will explain it in the next slide, explain it later. Next one, strike. So if we want to strike some text on the screen, we want to display some text on the screen with a strike on that particular text. So in order to display a text along with a strike, we can use this tag called as strike tag, so that a particular text will be displayed and the text will be strike. And then mark tag. This tag is used to highlight some text. So if you want to highlight some text, we can use this mark tag also. I will show this all these things. That is the superscript, subscript, or the emp tag, or strike tag, or mark tag in example 2. Next one, block formatted tags. The first one is the paragraph tag, which we have already seen in the previous session also. So if you want to write a paragraph on a screen, the entire content of that paragraph should be in between the start tag of paragraph, that is the P, and /P. Heading tag, we already discussed that there are 6 types of headings, H1 to H6. Those all 6 types of headings are used to display the text at different sizes on the web page. Okay, so we can see all these things in the example. H1 is the highest size and H6 is the lowest size. And blink tag, this tag was not covered in the last session, I think. Blink tag. So we can observe on some screens or on some web pages, some text will be on and off. The text will be on for a few seconds or 1 second, and then immediately the text will goes off for a 1 second, and again the counter strikes 1 second. Again it will be displayed, and then it will be hidden. So it is called as blinking of text. So if we want some text to be in blinking, we can use this blink tag. So the things which were represented between the start blink tag and end blink tag, the particular content will be on and off approximately for each and every 1 second. And then HR. It is used to write some horizontal line in a web page. And then base font tag. We already discussed it in the first session. So basically, the text which was represented by using a paragraph tag or some other tags, the font size will be default. So if we want to increase the font size or if we want to decrease the font size, we have to use this base font tag. So this base font tag consists of a attribute called as size attribute, and we have to provide some number in place of n. So if we provide base font size equal to 10, then the entire text, the entire font size of the text on the entire font size on the web page will be 10. And then font tag. So there are different types of font which are available: Times New Roman, Arial, or some other fonts. So if we want to change the font type, that means the style of characters or style of that particular entire text. So we can change by using the tag called as font tag. This font tag consists of some attributes. That is the face attribute, which will take the name of the font, which type of font we want to display on the web page, that would be given to the face attribute. And the color of the font should be given to the color attribute. And then size of the font should be given to the size attribute. So this is how we can draw a horizontal line by using HR tag. We can change the font size by using a tag called as base font tag. And similarly, we can change the style of a font style by using a tag called as font tag. We can see all these things in the example programs. Next one, marquee tag. It is already discussed in the first session. If we want to apply some scrolling effect for a selected text in the web page, we can use this marquee tag. And then the syntax of marquee, we already discussed all these things. It has some attributes. Align, it is used to align the text on left or right or center of the screen. Behavior, so how to move the text in from left to right or right to left or from top to bottom, or we want to bounce, etc. Background color, we can set the background color by using bg color. Height and width of the text should can be changed by using the attributes called as height and width attributes. And then here comes up with a new concept called as escape sequences. So these are the character escape sequence which are required if we want to display characters that HTML uses as control sequences. All of these characters starts with ampersand and are terminated with a semicolon. Okay. So what this escape sequences says is, for example, if I want to display CSC on the output screen, I can simply display CSC either by using heading tags, that is H1, H2, or H6, or by using a paragraph tag, or by using some other tags. I can directly display CSC on the output screen, because CSC is not the things which are used by HTML. But let us consider an example. If I want to display greater than or less than on my computer screen, so the combination of greater than and less than is used to represent the tags in the HTML. Whenever the HTML document encounters a greater than symbol and a less than symbol in combination, that HTML thinks that it is a tag. So in order to avoid such type of things, in our HTML program, we have to use some escape sequences. So all of these escape sequences starts with an ampersand. So if we want to display some greater than the computer screen or less than the computer screen, we have to use that ampersand while writing the greater than. And after completing the write-up of the greater than, we have to terminate it with a semicolon. So all the control things which are used by the HTML, if we want to use them to display on our web page, we have to combine them with an ampersand and a semicolon. These all are called as escape sequences. For example, in the below table, you can observe ampersand AMP semicolon. That means we are trying to use ampersand. And second one, ampersand LT semicolon. So ampersand should be at the starting, LT means less than, and then semicolon in order to terminate that particular HTML control thing. So this is these all are called as escape sequences. Next one. So let us have look at some of the examples. Let us come back. I have shown second. So here I will show one example which will represent all the basic structure of a HTML page, and then I will try to add some tags to the basic structure, and let us see what will be the output of that particular all those tags. So let us start with a simple HTML code. Right click on my computer, go to new option and select a text document. Or you can write a code in the text document, or if you have any thing like edit +3, you can simply open that edit +3 app and you can write all the HTML code in this app. Go to the new option, file option. There you can see multiple number of options. Among all those options, go to the new option and select HTML page and select some HTML page. So this is the basic thing which will be displayed when we select HTML. So let us delete all the unnecessary things and let us start with the structure what we have seen in the slide. So you can observe this is the slide what I have shown, and I'm explaining that particular basic HTML structure. And now let us work with the same thing. Here we have HTML head and title. Some title will be there, and then body tag. So we have used 4 tags. So let us use those 4 tags here also. So HTML tag already exists, and then head tag. So after the head tag, we have title tag. We have title tag in the basic structure. So let us add the title tag. So here my title is computer science and engineering. Computer science and engineering is my title. So whenever I complete giving the title, let us close the title tag. So this is the thing what we have seen in the slide. So let us save this program and let us let us run this program in order to see the output. So while saving the program, we can use any name, but we have to save that program with .html extension. We have already worked with C programming language, C++, Java programming language, and Python, etc. We have already seen all these type of programming languages in the previous semesters of your BTech course. Similarly, when we want to save a C programming language, we can save the C programming code by, for example, my program name is 1. We can save that program with 1.c. When we are working with C++, we save that particular program with 1.cpp. And when we are working with some programming language like Java, we will save the program as 1.java. Similarly, while we are working with HTML programming language, we have to save the HTML code with .html. And coming to the name, we can use any name, but the extension should be given as .html. So here I want to save this particular program as csc.html. So the program has been saved. So let us run this program. Yeah, okay, let us see the output. So we have saved this particular program as csc.html. So this particular program was saved at, you can see the path where this program has been saved at the bottom. It was saved at, it was saved in the documents. It was saved in the documents. You can see, if I move a mouse on this csc.html, it is showing the path where it has been saved. So immediately move to the documents, move to the documents of your computer. So here is the documents. So move to the documents and you can find csc.html. So here it is. Here it is. You can see the type of the file. I will extend this one. Here you can see the type of the file. So the name of the file is CSC, and it was a Chrome HTML document. So I think in my computer system, Google Chrome is the default browser. So if you save anything with the .html extension, means that will be saved with the default browser icon of your computer. So some of the people may have Mozilla Firefox as a default browser. Some people may have Internet Explorer as a default browser. Some people may have Opera Mini as a default browser, or a Microsoft Edge as a default browser. So in my computer, Google Chrome is a default browser. That is why each and every document which is having the extension of .html will be saved with the Google Chrome icon. So if we want to look the output of this particular HTML code, you can just double click, and that means you can just open that one. So it will shows the output of the code. So this is the output of the HTML code what we have written in Edit Plus 3. So here you can see, here we got some computer science and engineering. That means it is the title of your web page. It is the title of your web page, and this part is called as the body part of your web page. It is the title part. It is the body part. So inside body part, we have given nothing. That is why the entire part is empty. You can see the program. I will open the program. I will put the output side by side. Okay, see, we are dealing with HTML. That is why we have used the HTML tag. And then, so in order to give some information regarding the web page, we can use this head tag. So inside head tag, I have used some title tag, and for title, I have given computer science and engineering. That's why the title of this web page is computer science and engineering. After the completion of giving the title, I closed the title tag and I closed the head tag also. And in the body tag, inside the body tag, I given nothing. So that is why the entire body tag is empty. So if you give something in between the body tag, one second, if you give something in between this body tag, that will be displayed in this particular area. Okay, so let us add one by one tag to this particular HTML page so that it will be displayed in this particular output. So let us try with changing this title. So I want to change this title as Chebrolu Engineering College. So I changed the title of this web page as Chebrolu Engineering College. So I have saved this program. I'm saving the updates, and then I am just closing this one. So we already saw that this particular program was saved at documents. Here it is, documents, csc.html. So again, I am double clicking. I am trying to open it again. So you can observe the title of this web page has been changed to Chebrolu Engineering College. Previously, the title was Computer Science and Engineering, and then I made some modifications in our program. I made some modifications that I have changed this title to Chebrolu Engineering College. That's why the title of this web page has been changed to Chebrolu Engineering College. So let us add something to this body also. So we have already seen that there are 6 types of headings, that is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Those 6 types of headings are used to display text on the web page with different sizes, where H1 is the big size and H6 is the small size. So let us see one by one. Let us see each and every tag in detail. So let us start with the big tag, that is H1. And here I am giving web technologies as my heading, and I completed my heading. That is why I am ending it with a end tag, that is /h1. Now save the program. Okay, save the program and just refresh the web page by pressing on this refresh button. Refresh the web page and you can observe the output of this particular web page. So the output of this web page has been changed. That is, initially there is nothing in the body of the web page. Whenever I entered some H1 heading, and then I saved the program and then I run the program, I got some heading with web with H1 properties, and the name of the heading is web technologies. So let us add all the remaining 5 headings with the same content. That is, the content is web technologies. The content is web technologies, but that web technologies is given in between different tags. Let us see. Let us use H2. Let us use this H2 and use the same web technologies content. Copy the web technology content and paste it here, and close this H2 tag. Save the program by pressing Ctrl S or by pressing the save button inside the file menu, and then here again refresh the web page. You can see both the things are headings. First one is H1 and then I used H2. H1 is somewhat bigger than H2. So let us use one more heading next to heading, that is H3, and then close the H3 tag. Now save the program by using by pressing on Ctrl S, and then here see the output by pressing on refresh button. You can observe H3 is somewhat smaller than this H1 and H2, and then try to add the remaining three headings, that is H4 and then H5 and then H6. So save the program. What you have written in the edit test, just save the program. That the modifications will be carried out to csv.html file, which was in the documents. Now see the output of this program by pressing on the refresh button. So the changes will be applied to this program, and you can observe we have written web technologies 6 times in the document. I will show the program document. So all the 6 types of web technologies are included in between H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. You can clearly observe H1, the content in between the H1 was somewhat bigger size than the other, and the content in between the H6 is the smallest font among all the headings. So we can use any type of heading according to our need. So let us add a paragraph. So we can add a paragraph by using a tag called as p tag, that is the paragraph tag. So in the paragraph tag, I'm going to write some couple of sentences. For example, web technologies syllabus covers topics like HTML, JS, that is the JavaScript, Ajax, PHP, that is hypertext preprocessor, Ruby, and Perl. So my paragraph data has been completed. So whenever the data is completed, use the closing paragraph tag. Now save the program, and then see the output by pressing on the refresh button. You can see web technology syllabus covers topics like HTML, JS, Ajax, PHP, Perl, and Ruby. The thing was represented like a paragraph. Although we don't have more sentences. If you have more sentences, that entire thing will be represented as a paragraph. So now what I want is, I don't want to see all the names in a single line. I want to see each and every topic name in a separate line. For example, I want to see, like in the first line, web technology syllabus covers topics like. In the second line, I want to see HTML. In the third line, I want to see JS. In the fourth line, I want to see Ajax. And in the fifth line, I want to see PHP. Similarly, in the next lines, I want to see Ruby and Perl. So I need some breaks in between the topics. So if I use a tag called as BR tag, that is called as break tag. If I use this break tag, after each and every topic, if I use this break tag after each and every topic, so that each and every topic will be represented in a new line. So let us save this particular code and then refresh the page. So you can observe web technology syllabus covers topics like HTML, JS, Ajax, PHP, Ruby, and Perl. So all the things are represented in a separate line. So we have already seen about the elements of HTML. We have seen in the first session, elements of HTML contains start tag, content, and end tag. But there are some elements which are called as empty elements. Empty elements in the sense, the elements which do not have any content and the elements which do not have end tag are called as empty elements. Here we have already seen about total 8 tags, that is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, 6 tags, paragraph tag, P tag, 7th tag, and then BR, 8 tags. Total we have seen about 8 tags. Among all these 8 tags, BR tag is called as empty element, and the remaining 7 tags are called as normal elements because they have the start tag, some content, and the end tag. Let us consider the paragraph tag. So the start tag of paragraph is P, and the content of the paragraph tag is web technology syllabus covers topics like so and so, so and so. And the end tag of paragraph tag is /P. So it contains a start tag, it contains some content, and it contains the end tag. So it is a normal element. Whereas consider some heading like consider H4. H4 is the start tag, web technologies is the content, /H4 is the end tag. But consider the break tag, that is the BR tag. So we only have break start tag. We don't have any content regarding the break tag. We don't have any end tag for the break tag. That is why this break is called as empty element. And one more thing, I think up to now everything is clear. We just went to some simple tags only. Okay, so let us have and all of you have to remember one more important point. This HTML program is not a case sensitive programming program. This HTML is not a case sensitive language. That is, we can use capital letters or small letters, whatever it may. We don't get any problem because it is not a case sensitive language. Let us try. I have used this H1 heading in lowercase letter. Let us change this H1 with uppercase letter, and let us see whether this program will work perfectly or not. Just save the program and then refresh the web page. You can see we don't get any problem for this particular H1 heading because it is not a case sensitive language. We can use uppercase letters or we can use lowercase letters. Any type of letters will never change the output of the program or will never cause the errors because it is not a case sensitive language. All of you please remember and please make a note of this point. And now let us introduce let us check one more tag, and the name of the tag is marquee tag. Marquee tag. One second. Write the tag, that is marquee tag. Marquee. So I want to, we know that we already seen in the first session and in the second session also I have given some explanation regarding this marquee tag. So if we want to scroll some text on your output screen, we can use this marquee tag. I have given an example in the previous session also. While if you are watching any news channel, some text will be scrolled from left to right. That is an important news, or some headlines will be scrolled from left to right. So in order to make our text also to be scrolled like that, we can use this marquee tag. So let us write something in the marquee tag. So what I want to write is BTech final examinations. BTech final examinations are expected to be held in November. are expected to be held in November. That is my data, what I want to be scrolled on my output screen. So let us use the closing marquee tag, and then now save this particular code, and now press the refresh button and observe the output. Yes, you can see there is some text which is being scrolled from right side of the screen to the left side of the screen, and the text which is scrolling is BTech final examinations are expected to be held in November. That is the thing which is scrolling from right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. You can clearly observe. Now let us change something like, you can observe here the text is coming from right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. Now I want to change the direction of the text from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. Let us see how to change the direction of the text. We have already seen that this marquee tag is having some attributes. So by using that attributes, we can change the direction of the text. So there is one attribute called as direction, and here my value to the direction is right. So let us save this particular code. Let us save this particular code and let us try to run the code. I just press the refresh button. You can clearly observe now the text is moving from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, because here I have given the direction equal to right. So the text is moving towards the right side of the screen. You can see here the text is moving from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. So let us see what happens if we give the direction called as top. Let us save this program, okay, and refresh the code. So nothing is happening. The text is just coming from right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. Let us use bottom and save the program and just run the program. When we use bottom also, the same thing happens. The text is moving from right side to the left side. So here we have only two directions, that is either from left to right or right to left. So the direction of the text can be changed by using an attribute called as direction attribute. So if you give, by default it will move towards left. If you give right, means the text will move from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. So let us have a look at one more attribute. There is one more attribute called as scroll amount. Scroll amount, which is equal to, for example, I have given 20, and I saved this particular file, and then I used the refresh button. One second. I have, yeah, sorry, that scroll amount, that attribute, we don't have any spaces in the attribute. So scroll amount is a single word. So scroll amount equal to 20, and then I saved this particular code. I run this particular code by pressing on the refresh button. You can observe the text is quickly moving somewhat. It is moving somewhat fast than previously. So if you want to observe the change, you can use one more marquee tag. So let us use one more marquee tag. There is one more marquee tag, and here I am giving the scroll amount as 10. Save this particular code. And then press the refresh button. You can observe the first text, both are having the equal length of text, but the first text is moving fastly than the second line of text. That is because we have given the scroll amount of 20 for the first line of text. That is, the scroll amount is 20. That is why it is moving fast. And then we have given 10 for the next line. That is why it is moving somewhat slow when compared to the first line. So let us check what happens if we give some scroll amount like 200, save the program and observe the program by pressing on the refresh button. We can observe the lines are moving like a train. Next one, let us check what happens if we give a negative value to the scroll amount. Save the program. Now observe the output of the program by pressing on the refresh button. So nothing is happening if you, even if you give the negative value also, the scrolling amount is just the value what we have given there, that is a 10. So this is how we can use this particular marquee tag. If we want to move some text from left to right or right to left, we can use this marquee tag. And along with this marquee tag also, let us check few more tags. But with this, I'm going to end this session. I'm going to end this session for today. And in the next class, we can see some remaining tags. So in today's class, we have seen only a few tags up to, I think up to we have seen about 9 to 10 tags. That is H1 to H6 paragraph tag, and then some marquee tag and break tag. In the next coming classes, we can see about we can see the other tags such as blink tag, where we and superscript tag or subscript tag and the remaining tags with examples. And thank you everyone. And if you have any queries regarding this video, you can just post a comment in the comment box, or you can text me. I will answer at any time. And I'm very much thank you for all the listeners for being patient while listening all these things. I think today's class is somewhat better than the previous class because we have seen some programs and we have seen some beautiful output. That is the moving of the text in HTML. And we can, the future classes also, we can see more tags. And thank you once again. Thank you very much for your patience.